I'm glad everybody realized how crazy that was, because like that's why like when I won, I like look back at the crowd. I'm like, did you see that?
He's alive. Does he get a knee?
Does he get a punish?
Oh, the
He
turnaround!
got a turnaround! He got the knee!
It's
That's gonna
done!
be it!
What a down throw! What a down throw knee, bro! Crazy.
That was a moment where I was impressed with myself.
Sheesh. You're literally the guy to play all the Smash games.
Playing all 3 games would be like a treat one day. Like, you know, I'll just YOLO this tournament. I'm gonna enter all 3, and hopefully I can do good.
Not only do you play Ultimate, but you've played Ultimate competitively and offline. What do you think are like the main differences between competitive Ultimate and competitive Melee?
Like in Melee, like you have to know the matchups, those like 12 matchups down to like a T, the most extreme level. You gotta know all the little details. While in Ultimate, it seems like it's like impossible to like get that full mastery of every matchup because there's just so many.
What is up, everyone? Yet another week of Go Talks, yet another week of insane tournaments, and yet another week with another special guest, dude. We've been on fire lately, but rather us. This dude's been on fire too, because today we have Wizzrobe over here with us. Wizzy, how you been, man? First of all, welcome to LG, and second, Carl's the CEO, man. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, how you feeling, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm glad to be on LG, and also like I think one of the things I thought was coolest about joining LG was just like being on the same team as like all these goated Ultimate players. I thought that was actually kind of sick. But yeah, CEO went pretty well, and yeah, I mean I'm happy about it. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, man. I mean, CO was an insane tournament, and I mean, speaking of Ultimate, well, you know, there's been this thing where like Zane has been playing Ultimate. Even Cody's playing Ultimate now. Like,
Yep.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on with all this, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's going right. But you
Yeah.
are actually an OG. You played Ultimate since
Yeah.
like the beginning, right?
Yeah, I'm an OG. I remember those early days with MKLeo, right? Right, Leo? Remember?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was
2019.
it was a good practice for 19. I used to be in Florida, and
Yeah.
I used to live in Florida with Mewtwo King, with you. Well, you used to visit a lot, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
used to play a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually one of the reasons why his Wolf got so good.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
one of the first believers. I knew it. I knew it from the beginning that he was so fucking good.
oh yeah. Yeah. Those were the days. Yeah, you definitely helped me get good at the game at the beginning. It was definitely quite the experience, like being around you and U2 King, and just I don't know. It was memorable for me. It was some good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nice for me
dude.
too.
So that's 5 years ago. Damn, time goes by. Well, isn't there like a clip of you guys like your Isabel kind of going at it?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually really famous. Who did I do it to? Was it you or Mewtwo King? I don't remember.
With Dark Wizzy.
Oh,
Or
I actually
was
don't
it?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I exactly don't remember. I think it was Mewtwo King. I think it was Jason.
I want to say it was Mewtwo
I,
King.
I down threw him into fair off stage.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to DI that combo, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Dude. But yeah. So of course, well, we have a couple questions for you right off the get go, right?
Sure.
So since you're, melee player, but you also play Ultimate, and on top of only playing Ultimate, I mean, not only do you play Ultimate, but you've played Ultimate competitively and offline.
Yeah.
And like you just said, you've grinded a lot offline with best of the best.
Yeah.
What do you think are like the main differences between competitive Ultimate and competitive Melee?
In terms of like what? In terms of like what you think, just like as a whole, like the
Yeah.
competition,
So
the
like,
like what specifically you think?
for example, when I talked to Zane, for example, I was like, okay, yeah, in Ultimate, you can tell like people really don't grind, right? And then
Yeah.
with Melee, you guys have this grind culture pretty set in stone, right? Like
Yeah.
you guys super try hard, super grinding,
Yeah.
and all that, So yeah, all those type
Yeah.
of things. Like the game itself. What do you think about the game itself, like Ultimate?
Oh man. So many things. So many things. Trying to think. So yeah, I remember Ultimate. People always said, they didn't grind as much as Melee players, but do you think it's starting to change a little bit? Like, I feel like I'm noticing more like Ultimate grinding. Like, I'm not like as in tune as you guys, obviously, but like, I don't know. I feel like more people coming out of the woodworks, like more people grinding on like Ryuga Chord and stuff, and like, I don't know. Like, I I feel like I've been like, especially at the majors. You know, when you go to like a major and there'd be like the VIP room, there'd be like the melee side, then there'd be like the ultimate side. I feel like before sometimes the ultimate side would be like relatively empty outside of like maybe like the main bracket. But I feel like now, like the past few majors, the ultimate side is always like full. I feel like people are starting to grind a little bit more in ultimate. At least that's what it seems like to me. I don't know, but
I
No,
guess I guess for me,
mhm.
I'm sorry, Meister, but
Yeah,
I guess for me the question I have is when we were talking to Zane,
yeah,
he was mentioning how the difference were in like how you had to learn the game, right?
yeah,
Because in Melee he was saying that like there was only a few characters that you had to learn in order to like learn all the matchups, but like it's not that important when it comes to. I mean, it's super important when it comes to like to the skill, right?
yeah, yeah,
And like you gotta do a lot of things. You gotta learn a lot of like how the character moves, and it might take a while. And on the other side, Ultimate is kind of like, oh, you just have a lot of characters. The game is a lot more friendly. Like anybody can pick up Ultimate, right? Like, and in a month be good with a good character because it's easy to play. But like at a high level, pro level, is complicated because there's a lot of matchups to learn, right? So he was explaining a little bit about like the differences between the games, even though well they're about the Smash, right? So I
yeah, yeah,
guess that's my question.
yeah, yeah. I think I mean, my I always thought like, everyone's been playing Ultimate full time for the past 5 years. I'm sure they've got every matchup down to some degree, but I still hear about people getting like matchup checked and stuff even to this day in Ultimate. So like, even after 5 years, like people are still getting like matchup checked to some degree. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing. Just like keeping all the knowledge of the matchups and just like, you can have like a base level of knowledge in each matchup, but then you fight somebody really good with that character in Ultimate, like I don't know, like a crazy Toon Link player or something, a character that doesn't have like a ton of super top level reps. So when you fight one of those super top level reps, even though you know the matchup to some degree, it just jumps to another level when you fight like a player who's like at the top with that character. If there's not a lot of people playing that character, and so there's just so much matchup knowledge in Ultimate that it's I don't know. It just seems really hard to keep up with, obviously. And in Melee, it's more like, you really only have to focus on like 8 to 12 characters. And then low tiers are really rare and they're a lot worse. Um, yeah, it's like in Melee, like you have to know this since there's a small amount of matchups, you have to know the matchups, those like 12 matchups down to like a T, down to like the most extreme level. You got to know all the little details. While in Ultimate, it seems like it's like impossible to like get that full mastery of every matchup because there's just so many.
yeah. There's like 80 plus characters, and then DLC kind of made it worse too. So like,
Yeah,
Jesus, yeah.
yeah,
And
Um,
there's also the Mies, which is pretty
ugh,
rare and uncommon.
and they
But
all
yeah,
have
and then
like
there's
different moves,
yeah, different
yeah.
moves. Yeah, yeah.
dude. That
That's
is crazy.
that's like I'm playing Ultimate right now, and I've still been practicing, and like yeah, it's just like it's just you might be practicing all these matchups, and then you'll fight someone in tournament, and they'll play a character that you haven't played in forever, even though you've been playing, you've been practicing, but like, oh, this guy chose some weird character like Duck Hunt or
I
I
was
don't know.
actually gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think is like the weirdest matchup you have played in Ultimate? Like, whether it's online, offline.
Weirdest, like
Yeah, like which character makes you go, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like,
I would say as like more of a melee player, it's always been the characters that are not straightforward. So a straightforward
Mm.
character would be like Roy, Wolf.
yeah,
Those are like it's easier to understand. But like Bayonetta is always kind of weird for me. Um, Steve's obviously kind of weird. I played the matchup a decent amount though, so like I'm starting to understand Steve, but I don't know. There's just so many weird characters.
trust me, that feeling
Yeah,
will go away. You feel like you get it, then you play a good Steve, and you're like, okay, no, never mind. Then you study,
yeah.
then you don't get it again, and yeah, never ending
That's what
cycle.
I imagined was gonna happen. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, lots of weird
Steves are
characters for
always
sure.
evolving.
Yeah.
hmm. Say it again.
Steves are always evolving. I feel like when you're
Yeah,
trying to
character has so much
counterpick,
stuff.
yeah, when you are trying to counterplay Steve, it's just like, oh, it's like Meister said, you study one time and then like the next time you don't get it because like the Steve is just like progressing so much because the character is
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
Steve in
mind blowing.
particular, right? Steve has like a crazy amount of stuff,
Yeah,
Dude, it's just like
right?
the fact that like any counterplay that you find to that character, he will have a stronger counterplay to your counterplay and so on so far. It like never
Yeah.
ends. Yeah. We actually asked this to Zane as well, and I want to hear your take. Do you think Steve should be banned?
Um, I not really. Like, I mean, is he broken? Yeah, is he broken? Yes, but maybe it's just my mentality. I just like you either ban him early on or you let him stay like maybe till the end of the game. Like wasn't Steve was like broken, like he's broken right now, but he was doing really OP like last year, right? And now
Yeah.
like he's still OP, but like the Steves aren't dominating as much right now. Am I right about that or not really?
Well,
Like
Aquala's
aside
still
from
number one.
Akola,
Yeah.
aside
Yeah.
from Akola, I mean that's obvious, that's relevant, but like
Yeah.
Hmm.
I I just don't like banning stuff personally, and
Hmm.
like the other thing I would say is I don't really like personally like events where it's like Steve's banned here, he's not banned here, he's banned
Yeah.
here, he's not banned here. Like I feel like you either everyone bans him or he's
Or no
allowed
one.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because then it's like it reminds me of something like in Florida in Brawl like 10 years ago. Like they banned him at a lot of Florida tournaments in Brawl. They banned Meta Knight, and then you'd go to Apex, and
He's
then
not banned.
yeah, and he's not banned, so you're not practiced versus the character as much as other regions that didn't ban him. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard thing to answer. I my biggest thing is just you either ban him or you don't. But when it's like this back and forth, I think that's more annoying personally.
Hmm.
Yeah, we actually talked about that once because we went to Port Priority last year, for example, and the tournament didn't have it banned. But I believe
Yeah.
the last like two tournaments that we went to had him banned, and there was
Okay.
like no Steve practice,
Yeah.
yeah, we couldn't practice the matchup,
Yeah.
and I mean I don't think. Oh no, I played Onan. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so
Oh
you can
my.
tell what happened, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it's more so Steve players, at least here in NA, because like you said, Aquila is still number one, and that's relevant, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But in NA, like they kind of just stopped attending. Like Onan went to Collision, he went to maybe one more tournament, that's it.
Mm.
And then there's Syrup who went to Genesis. He went to Let's Luminosity makes big moves in January, but that was Steve banned.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been
He-
a little weird.
Yeah, but nowadays I feel like the tournaments are starting to have a Steve on band, which is
Bad.
I don't. I do hate a Steve, but like I do agree with Wizzrobe. I don't know about like having him banned in one tournament and then not having him banned
Oh yeah,
in one
Yeah.
tournament.
Uh-huh.
I feel like if everybody just had them like banned, I think it would be better. But like, for example, Let's Make Moves Miami just announced that Steve is banned, right?
yes. Woo!
And like at Gomo, Steve wasn't banned, so I'm hoping to see more. I'm hoping to see more Steve banned in Luminosity tournaments. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, so they both make sense. Like Steve's kind of ridiculous, so he should be banned. But then, he's not banned everywhere, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that whole thing's just the annoying thing to me personally. But
Yeah, it is to me too, and it is probably my biggest like complaint as well, because it's like you either ban him everywhere or you don't ban him
Yeah.
at all, right? So yeah. But anyways, enough Ultimate. Oh no, there's actually one more thing that I wanted to ask.
no, I like
Ultimate.
talking about Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultimate's awesome.
Yeah. So we know that Ultimate Wi-Fi is ass. And
Yeah, unfortunately.
Melee Wi-Fi is great. I mean, I've played it
Yes.
myself. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that matters a lot for like grinding? Because like, how do you feel?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like so. I think there's always been like the debate, or not. There's kind of that debate of like which game's harder, right? Ultimate or Melee? Like less so about like the game itself and more about like the player base. Like which player
Mhm.
base is better at their game in a way. Like I mean, Ultimate's newer, so it's not as developed, but like
Yeah.
in terms who's working harder at their game, and I think you can make an argument for either one, but I would say that the Melee side, they're probably working a little bit harder at their game just because they have this insane resource now. Like back
Yes.
before Slippy, you could argue like, okay, you're not from this region, or they have like everything was in person for the most part, so like it was harder to like grind. But now like you can live in the middle of nowhere and just sit down at your computer and grind like 10 hours. So like there's so many people in Melee who are just slowly like the skill of the whole community is just like increasing. So like you can fight someone like early in the bracket, and like it's scarier now than it used to be. So I just think that I think it's making it's great. It can help you get better no matter what, but it's also making things harder. Like everybody's getting good at the game. These nobody people who like you've never heard of them before, they're doing crazy stuff because of Slippy. So yeah, it's definitely like increased the skills, the skill of the player base in Melee.
Do you think having ranked, for example, incentivizes people to also play online more in Melee?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, probably. I just think the online is just so good that like
No one cares
it's
about ranked
it
that much.
yeah, I mean, the ranked helps, yeah, but like the tool itself of like it feeling like offline CRT pretty much.
Yeah.
Like even if you're not doing ranked, like everybody's playing it. Like I can't even remember like the last time I went over to someone's house to play Melee, like to practice now. When I used to do that all the time growing up. Like, you know, I would message someone like in my area, like, yo, you want to play today or tomorrow? I'll go to your house. And I can't even remember the last time I've done that for Melee, because you basically just have to play online now for Melee. That's how you get good at the game. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think having really good online definitely helps, and I wish it really were like that for Ultimate.
Yeah,
But
I do too. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. If it's funny because even like 64, like that online, it's delay based, but it's like a really good delay based. So like even that
No.
game like is fun to practice online. And it's just like so I'll like practice 64 online, I'll practice Melee online, and then Ultimate online. Like I'll play it, but like after you know a few hours, a couple hours, it's just like I got to get off.
I don't blame you.
Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's my biggest hope for the next game. Like
yeah.
just like it's so inexcusable at this point. Like once Smash 6 comes out, there has to be rollback. Like there's no excuse. Like there can't not be rollback. Like there has to be rollback in the next game, and all the other Japanese games are getting rollback now. Tekken, Street Fighter. So it's like I know Sakurai and the team. Like it's definitely like they're Omega aware of rollback, and
Yeah.
you know that's my biggest hope for the next game.
I actually wanted to talk about that topic for a bit because I believe Sakurai once said in like an article out there that rollback they try to like implement it into Smash Ultimate, right? The reason why they didn't do it, or at least what I got from it, is that well,
Yeah.
there's so many people with like no LAN or like their connection is not that great, and the Switch not really supporting too high of a speed
I
doesn't help.
saw in the interview they said it was hard because of free for all and like four players and also like items. Like he made it sound
Oh,
like there's just too
Yeah.
much going on. At least from what I remember reading one of the interviews. And this might I don't know this some game dev might tell me if this is a stupid idea, but I was thinking like what if they had like delay based for like the free for all casual stuff, and then if you want to play like 1v1 for glory, it switches to rollback. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's an idea they could do, but
yeah,
um,
see, that's also something that is really weird. Like in Smash 4, it was like for fun, for glory, and then items, doubles. But here in
Yeah.
Ultimate, it's like it's Elite Smash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
If you
right.
play a free for all, you're fucked. Like
Yeah.
you didn't mean to
Yeah,
choose
like-
it, but
Yeah.
Unlucky.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Like that is also stupid in my opinion, right? Like, and that doesn't even
Yeah.
have to do with the netcode.
Yeah, that was a weird decision. But yeah, I was saying on my stream, like, bro, if Smash 6 is nothing, you can only play Mario and it's just Mario Dittos. As long as there's rollback, it'll still be fun just because
Yeah.
there's rollback. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even care who I play. Like, as long as there's rollback, I could play for 8 hours every day or something.
So, how is rollback with bad connection though? I'm really interested in this because the only experiences I have with rollback is NASB 1 and 2. And NASB 1, like the rollback, I could feel how bad it was whenever it got bad. But after that, I mean, that was like 3 years ago. I don't really remember anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with a bad connection, I mean, it depends how bad it is. If it's like slightly bad, like honestly, I'll still play it. Like I'm the type of person like I would rather play in a little bit of lag but less input delay than like no lag but more input delay. So if there's a little bit of rollback, I think it's still playable. It's just yeah, if it gets super bad. The thing is, like even if the connection is super bad, it's always like somebody's fault. Like oh, your internet sucks, or you're not using Ethernet. So it's like I usually it's like a fixable thing if somebody has bad internet on rollback. But yeah, That's what I think of it.
I feel like when Ultimate, even if you both have like really great connections, and like now with the mod, there's still one point where like it won't feel as good. Or like
Oh, like
I
it
played
lags more.
rollback, yeah. Or like for example, sometimes you're like grinding with someone and like they're too far and like you put it automatic because well it's super hard to like always be restart the
Yeah.
game with 4, restart the game with 5, restart the game with 6 delay and
Oh,
I don't know. Like the easiest thing is just to like put it automatic, right? And then like
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
grinding. But the connection will make it worse. And like sometimes you will feel that someone is going faster than the other. So
yeah.
it's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, most people I play, I kind of just, I quickly check if our connection's good and then I go from there.
Right. Yeah.
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 My beautiful online ultimate. Wish it was
I know.
good.
It's like I remember like I would ask people like when I was grinding Ultimate before I played online as much, and I was like, "Do you feel like you have to play online?" And Glutony actually told me, he says like you have to play online. There's just too many matchups. Like even if you don't want to play online, like
Yeah.
if you only play offline, like it's just there's just too many matchups. So like you have to play Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
like regardless of if you like it or you hate it, like you have to suffer through it to some degree if you're gonna get like as much matchup knowledge as possible.
That is
Exactly.
probably the best thing about online. Like, there's so many players who use Duck Hunt, Samus, Toon Link, like all those
Yeah.
weird characters. I guess Samus not that weird,
Yeah.
but you know, all of those other characters.
The Wi-Fi characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they work better in Wi-Fi, right? They work better
Yeah.
in Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, so many people though. Like, it's interesting because like if you try to look for a Palu, non-existent. But if you go for a Duck Hunt, there's like 5 of them. Like, I
Yeah.
guarantee you, it's so
Yeah.
weird.
I hate Duck Hunt. Yeah, definitely one of my least favorite. But all right, I guess I wanted to talk about something different. You mentioned at the start of the podcast that you were playing Ultimate right now.
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't mean right now, but
Yeah.
I guess you're practicing for something, right? So,
Oh,
do you have any plans to like keep playing Ultimate, to keep practicing Ultimate, or like
Well,
attend any Ultimate tournaments?
yeah. So, well, I just play in general because I'm trying to like keep up. But also, I'll probably go to Cirque 3.5, which is in Orlando. It's just like a regional, but obviously you guys probably know Cirque,
yeah.
like the bigger tournament.
Yeah.
But they're having a 3.5, which is like it's basically just going to be like a Florida regional. That's in like a week and a half, I think. I'll probably go to
Oh.
that, and then I don't know what I'll go to after that, but yeah, like I'm trying to like keep up and play because I think like for me, like I played a lot when the game came out early, and then towards like the middle of the lifespan, I started playing a lot less. So my goal is to kind of like play consistently enough where like because yeah, when it was like the middle of the game's lifespan, I would like not play for months. And then I'd play, but then not play again. Then I'd play. So I'm just trying to kind of consistently play because it's annoying when like you don't play something for months or weeks, and then when you come back, it's you got to de-rust, and then okay, finally I'm not rusty anymore, and then you take a break again, and then you come back again. It's like, oh, I'm rusty again. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like play consistently, but yeah.
Nice, Cirque.
Yep.
Oh well, we'll be sure to catch it up because I do remember. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I always been a big fan ever since like I've been watching you playing Melee, and
Oh really?
I remember playing with you in Ultimate and always realizing how good you were. Like I already mentioned, and
Thank
of
you.
course, like you have some wins in Ultimate. Like
Yeah.
you took some names which are,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows they're
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
and that's just like great to see, right? Because I don't know. I guess I'm just really excited to see you keep competing in Ultimate in case that's your plan.
I remember like in the early days it felt like you were really happy to see like the Melee players playing Ultimate, and it felt like you were very helpful. Like you were kind of like a ultimate mentor for like me and Mewtwo King, and like helping us learn the game. And I could tell you were really happy to see like Melee people take the game seriously. So yeah,
Yeah.
I of course like I actually played I played Cola in Melee at CEO, and he was really good at Melee. I was kind of impressed, and it's always cool when you see like like an ultimate player play Melee or a Melee player play Ultimate for sure.
That was nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like they play different. Like we all play differently, and like of course the game plays different. Like I don't know. There's
Yeah,
just so
like
much to do and so much to learn from the other. But
yeah, like I ping the Ryuga chord all the time to play, and like almost half the time I play, when someone like comments on my playstyle, they're like, "Dude, you play so weird with Wolf, but it like kind of works." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in my brain, but I guess I'm not playing like a standard Ultimate player, so they're always like really surprised at how I play. So it's kind of funny."
Dude, that's awesome. I love this.
You're just pretty good at Smash, honestly, because like you play
Yeah,
64, Melee, Brawl. I don't know if you played Smash 4, but who cares? Ultimate,
Yeah.
like, dude, you're pretty good at it, honestly.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always. I've been playing a lot like 64 recently, and Ultimate and Melee, and you know they're so different, but it's like it's fun to think of like the things I can transfer. Like I've been thinking of things to like I'll learn something in Ultimate, and I'm like, what if this will work in Melee, or maybe like it'll work in Melee if I tweak it a little bit, and it's a fun process.
Yeah.
I could not imagine how it feels since, well, I guess I understand that of like you do something in Melee, then you try to apply to Ultimate, vice versa. But I mean, I guess it's like learning two languages, like knowing two languages, and like I don't know, like
that's
doing,
a good way to put it.
Yeah, like Spanish, English, do a Spanglish, and then you just like keep like working ideas. I don't know. It's just like they're like
right.
You can create so many ideas from like just learning like the both things.
Yeah, definitely. It's very fun to me.
Yeah. Now obviously you play Melee because you think it's fun, right? Like I mean,
yeah,
you've been at it for a couple years.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, I would say. Yeah.
Now, you enjoy Melee. Do you enjoy Ultimate? Like playing Ultimate?
You know what's funny? I'll just say right now, like I actually have probably a little bit more fun watching Ultimate than watching Melee. Like because like I mean it depends who's on the screen, I guess. Probably not every matchup I'd have more fun watching Ultimate, but generally speaking, like I don't know, I just feel like since Ultimate's newer, like you'll still see new things happen, like you know, some Japanese player will play this character we've never seen do good, and then they'll do good. Like I feel like you're still seeing new crazy stuff in Ultimate, and I don't know, I just feel like I see new things more often in Ultimate, and so I just think like new stuff is always just fun to see, and I'm a lot worse at Ultimate, so I'm always there's just so much to learn, and I don't know, there's just Melee, I'm just so much closer to the top that it's like it's harder to see new things happen. It's still fun to watch, but it's like I don't know, I'm always seeing crazy stuff in Ultimate, and there's a lot of things to learn, and I don't know, I'm still seeing new things. There's still new things in Melee to some degree, especially for like a 20-year-old game, but I don't know, I have a lot of fun watching like those Japanese tournaments like late at night, like, and you'll always see like a crazy upset or like some character that you never see do good, and it's like I don't know.
They have a pretty interesting meta.
That was watching though. You asked about playing. Sorry, but about playing, dude, I enjoy it. Like there's a reason I played all the Smash games. Like, sure, Melee's more faster paced, or like you know this and this. I feel like people when they play the different Smash games, they're always like, "Oh, I don't like this in Ultimate because in Melee it's like this." Well, I just think of it as like food, you know. One day I want pizza, one day I want burgers, one day I want tacos. Like I just see them as like I'm craving different things. Like today this sounds more fun, today this sounds more fun. Like I just embrace the differences, and I think I don't know, I think it's fun to play every game. I really like Ultimate, and again, going back to the whole like there's just so many matchups, there's so many things to learn. Like it's just I don't know. I'm still learning so much new stuff that it keeps the game fun for me.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the biggest attractives of Ultimate. Just so many characters, and also so many like fan favorite characters, right? Like there's Sora, there's
Oh yeah, man. The days of like all those announcements, the Sora announcement, the Steve announcement.
I love the way you said Sora because you love Sora.
Wait, it's not that. It's the fact that after I said Sora, I was gonna say Violet, and no one asked for Violet.
No, yeah,
but
MKLeo playing Violet was more interesting.
Yeah, than Violet being in the game. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Yeah.
That's stupid as fuck.
No,
It was
but
like
Dude, I thought you were gonna say Joker, and I was like, Joker. Everybody loves Joker, bro.
no, after it was such a process because like it was like first I said Sora, I was like, yeah, everyone wanted Sora in the game. Then it was like I was gonna say Violet, and I was like, no. And then I thought of Min Min, I was like, no, not that either. Like, oh my god. But yeah, Wizzy, which one's your favorite character in Ultimate? Let's just put it at that.
favorite character, like the new characters, or like anybody?
Yes, anybody.
Mm.
Well, anybody, it's probably Wolf because that's who I main.
Oh, well, second favorite.
Yeah, but favorite about favorite to play, favorite character, as a character,
Well, I'll say in terms of announcements, when they announced King K. Rool in the early days, I was really happy about that. That was somebody who I wanted. So yeah, people, I'm at the point, when it comes to if they make a new Smash and they announce new characters, there's not really anybody I want super bad anymore. I kind of gotten all my favorite characters in the game for the most part. I think it would be cool if, this is a weird one, you probably never heard, if there was a second F-Zero representative.
Oh, yeah.
Because out of the 12 OG Smash characters from Smash 64, every franchise has basically gotten a second character at some point, except for F-Zero. So I think that would be cool. But yeah, for me, my favorite characters are just the characters I play. So Wolf, I've been picking up another character. If I say it, you guys are gonna hate me, so I could say it or I could not.
Yeah,
say
you can.
You can say it.
Sonic.
I remember you used to play Sonic too, right?
It makes sense. It makes sense for me, So I was like, you know what? I mean, I played Sonic in PM. I love the games. He's so good. Why not? And I've been talking to Sonics, and he's actually been teaching me some stuff. So
crazy stuff is about to happen, bro.
Yeah.
You learning Sonic? Oh, yeah. I could only imagine. That's crazy.
That's a crazy, Wolf Sonic. I've never heard of that combination. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I've been learning Sonic too, and it's just. So I've been enjoying watching Sonic's play, and just when you're learning a character and you see a really good player play, there's just so many ideas. I could literally watch one match and just learn 10 new things. I'm that is crazy. It's fun learning a new character. So
it is pretty.
And
fun.
there's 90 plus characters, so it's plenty of room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I like that Ultimate has so many characters, but from a competitive point of view, everybody hates it. So it's a love-hate thing. Man, all these characters in the game, Sora's in it. We got Kazuya, this is so cool. And then you're grinding and it's oh man, there's so many characters.
Kazuya, it was such a weird addition too. I would have put Heihachi, not Kazuya, but maybe I'm not up to date with Tekken, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe the Tekken producer wanted Kazuya.
Yeah.
Kazuya is cool.
Yeah. Crazy character. That character's a Smash. That's a Smash 64 character right there.
Oh yeah.
I have a friend who's a Smash 64 player, and he didn't really know much about Ultimate. I showed him a Kazuya Ditto, and they're just 0 to deathing each other. He's like, "Whoa, this game's actually crazier than I thought. I didn't think Ultimate had something like this." So.
Yeah, and that's FGC Luigi for you, because Luigi he randomly does the same shit. Okay,
yeah, that's the right wording.
Yeah,
FGC.
No, it's literally FGC Luigi right there, bro. But yeah. Anyways, so enough about Ultimate now, because I do want to talk to you about a little bit of your run at CEO. I mean, you just won CEO, man. That should be insane. That is insane, right?
Yeah, it's insane. It still feels like it didn't happen, kind of thing. I don't know. It's just I didn't play too good in winners, but then I started playing better in losers, and I don't know. It's it feels like a dream, kind of. It still doesn't feel I haven't processed it fully. It doesn't feel fully real. I'm still trying to wake up from this dream. Not that it was the biggest win or anything, but it's just I don't know. Sometimes you win and you're oh, I just won? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I could tell from your expression after you landed that, was it down throw knee in Melee?
Yeah, what a down throw. What a down throw knee, bro. Crazy.
I know. I'm glad everybody realized how crazy that was, because that's why when I won, I look back at the crowd. I'm
yeah, you're
that? Because so that last stock was he did a rest on the right side, and I knew in my head I was facing left, so I was like I was on the ledge on the right side, so facing left. So I get on the stage. I knew if I dashed and grabbed in time, if I was facing left and I did a down throw knee to the left, the blast zone is too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't
So
have
I'm
killed.
like, maybe I could down air knee, but that might not kill. I wasn't sure, but I'm like, if I pivot, grab right here, it'll barely kill. And I was just that was a moment where I was impressed with myself. So I was like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
definitely a crazy way to end the set.
I mean, it really does sound crazy. Like all the thought process, you know.
Yeah, like exactly. Just knowing everything that went through your head, just like imagine, just like you thinking about all these options. It's just like,
Yeah.
well, I'm
Some
gonna
dog-
go for this one. That's
Some Doctor Strange shit right there, dude. Like,
I don't know how I did that, but I did it somehow.
yeah. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Everybody will keep talking about that down throw, bro.
Yeah.
It's literally historical.
Yeah. I saw like a bunch of clips. Like someone sent me a bunch of clips after like the reaction of everyone, like Armada's reaction, Cody, Zane. Everyone had the same reaction. I was like, all right, that's cool.
yeah. The Grand Finals was against Hbox, right?
Hbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've had a pretty good record against them, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like all these tournaments I win, it's always against Hungrybox and Grand Finals. It's like,
Hey man, we
It's-
take those. Like,
Yeah,
It's
it's-
nice. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it's I don't know. Now I need to like win a tournament that's not Hungrybox and Grand Finals. 'Cause I swear, like the last the 3 majors I've won is always Hungrybox and Grand Finals, which is good for me. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's always like that.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, for example, sure, like you might like beat Hbox and Grands, right? But like
Yeah.
the bracket that you have to go through to get to Grands, I think should be talked about as well, right? Because like
Yeah,
Smash and Splash, was it where you beat Hbox for to
Yeah.
win the tournament? Yeah, right.
Mhm.
yeah.
So who did you beat there, for example, in like bracket?
Yeah. So if the whole bracket was, if I remember correctly, I fought Spark early on in the bracket at Smash and Splash. That was a Sheik player. That was actually the only game 5 like the whole tournament for me for Melee,
Damn.
and that was like really early. But then after that I beat None. Then I beat Leffen to make top 8. Yeah, and that was as I was literally switching back between Ultimate and Melee. And that
Yeah.
was,
Oh
like,
yeah.
I like was able to beat Leffen, and then that was top 8. And then in top 8 I beat Amsa. Then I beat Hungrybox. Then in Grand Finals fought Hungrybox again. Then I won that tournament.
Listen, bro.
Wow.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
worry
that's
about
like-
beating someone else in Grands. Like you already beat Levin. I'm not like none. Like, bro, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you do more than enough. You know, it's like that's crazy. I understand definitely where you're coming from with like, oh, I want to beat someone else in Grands that isn't like this player. But
Yeah.
that whole like bracket that you go through, I think, sometimes you don't focus a lot on it. You know.
Yeah, you don't focus on the path.
Yeah. No, that's true. Actually, yeah. Actually, another win. I was pretty happy because in CEO I beat J-Mook, which I haven't played him in a while. Like we go back and forth a little bit, but I feel like we have close sets a lot, and he usually like edges it out. Like we have a lot of game 5 last stock type situations, but he usually edges it out. And this time I won 3-0,
It's 3-0, right?
and like
Sheesh.
I don't know. It's that felt good. Like that was a good win. You know.
That was loser semis, if I'm not
Yeah,
incorrect.
I think that was loser semis because he was a top 3 seed. I think he was a number 1 seed, but he lost to Panda, who's like a Florida Fox player who's really good versus Sheik.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, so I fought him a little early, like in loser semi, but it was interesting. It was a good tournament for like Florida players for Melee.
Yeah, no, for sure. And CEO, dude, like on the big stage and all, because I mean, it was on the ring and everything, right? If I'm not incorrect.
For Melee, no, it wasn't. It was in the main hall. No, so yeah, Melee hasn't been in the ring for like a couple of years now. It was in the ring like in 2019, but then that was its last year, and then they kind of took it out of the ring. To be fair, Melee's been getting smaller. Like a lot of the top Melee players haven't really been supporting CEO Melee that hard, but I think that's going to change next year because CEO is going back to Orlando now next year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think everyone's excited for that. I'm excited for that because that'll be better than going to Daytona and all that.
Yeah,
But,
it's probably a better location, right? Like in terms of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, even
More-
flying into Orlando, you just fly into the airport.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty much everything, like the area, flying into it, it's gonna be a lot better. So hopefully next year for Melee, CEO will be better. It's funny because actually I didn't enter CEO for Ultimate, even though I usually do, because like I just had a lot going on, and I was like, I'll just go enter Melee and just like drive home. Like I'm not gonna like stress myself out. But it was actually a really good tournament to enter both games in terms of the schedule. Like, my pool for Melee didn't start till Saturday night at 8 p.m. And by that point, Kolo was in my pool for Melee, and by the time he played me in the Melee pool, he had already qualified for top 8 for Ultimate.
Oh, okay.
Holy
So I was
fuck.
like, that would have been a great tournament to enter for Ultimate and at least like get my run in and stuff. But I didn't. But yeah, so I might enter Ultimate next year for that. And I forgot where I was going. Sorry, I just went on a tangent.
That's fine.
I forgot where we started.
We're talking about the losers run.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, so I beat Jmook. That was cool. Before that, I fought Moth, the ice climbers, who she's like probably the best active ice climbers right now. So that was good. And Jmook, that was a great win for me.
100%.
And then Panda, Panda popped off. He got third. And then we had a game 5 set, and then Hungrybox and Grand Finals, and then 2 sets. So that was. People tell me I had like a huge comeback. I think I was down 2-1, I think in the first set, and I was down like 3 stocks to 1, and I won that game, and I won both sets. And like, I don't know how you guys feel, but like when I make a big comeback, like 99% of the time, I don't even remember making it. And then after the tournament's over, like 50 people are like, "Yo, dude, you were down 3 stocks to 1." I'm like, I'm kind of curious for Leo, because Leo's had like a million comebacks. Like, when you have those comebacks, do you feel like you're realizing it in the moment, or is it like you're just kind of playing, and like people tell you later, like, "Don't do that comeback was crazy." Like, how does it feel for you?
That's funny. I think I'm conscious about like me making the comeback. Like,
Okay.
like maybe like when I'm playing the game and when I finish it, I'm like, bro, did I really make it? But like
Okay, yeah.
when I'm playing it, I'm like consciously thinking about like, bro, let's make it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
We can do
yeah.
it. We can do it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay,
like
yeah.
I guess I don't know. I guess sometimes I could tell you that like I wasn't aware, but the most important ones, I was like, bro, you need to make this comeback.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be aware for maybe like a split second, and then I'll just kind of like
Keep on playing.
Like focus up.
Yeah.
yeah, you'll just kind of focus up, because you got to stay focused, right? So you're not like
Like you're not thinking about making the comeback all the time.
Yeah,
like,
you're just like, all right, do the thing.
Yeah, get your punishes, get your openings, and then
Yeah,
the game just comes on its own.
yeah.
The gamer proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It does happen. It does happen pretty often. But yeah, insane run at CEO. Congrats, Wizzy. Congrats.
Yeah. I guess I only want to talk about something before wrapping up. I know that you lost to Hbox in winter semis, and then like you made the losers round, you played him in grands 3-2, and then like you beat him 3-1 in the reset. Like you said, your combats are insane, but your adaptations are also insane. What went through your mind when like fighting Hbox again in grands?
So in winners, I felt like it was one of those things where he definitely played better than usual, but it was also like I could tell I was playing really bad. I was a little distracted more than usual, because like I had like lost my headset cord, so I couldn't use my headset. I had to use like the stage headset, which I didn't really like. So that was like before the set even started. My headspace was like a little nerfed. Like I was just like, crap, I can't use my headset. I was a little annoyed. I wasn't playing as good. Sometimes it feels like you need to lose, or you need like a major event to happen to kind of turn your gameplay around and like start playing better. So after I lost, like I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes when you lose at a winners, you start playing better, because it's also like the fear of losing is gone. So you're just kind of like it's just all or nothing, and you just kind of start playing a little better. So I started playing a lot better, and so when I got to him in grand finals, I knew as long as like I could keep my energy up, I'm like I could definitely win this. Like I just had to play better. That's it. That's like the beginning, middle, and end of it. I just got to play better, and that's it.
It's kind of a all right. The worst already happened. Like I already lost. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Like I didn't play as good in winners, and then once I got to him in grands, I'm like, okay, this is super winnable. If as long as I play a little bit better, like I can definitely win this.
Yeah. Everything just clicked. It's simple.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
Yep.
then please just tell us where we can see you next. You mentioned Cirque 3.5, but what about Melee?
Melee. Melee, I'm not sure yet. I haven't really decided on what tournaments I'll be doing next for Melee. I got invited to this Egg Dog thing. It's like Egg Dog
Oh yeah.
Invitational
Hmm.
for Melee. So that'll probably be one. I'll see about going to Supernova. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to, but next guaranteed thing for Melee is Egg Dog, and then next guaranteed thing for Ultimate is uh,
Cirque.
Circ.
well, yeah, Cirque
Cirque.
3.5,
Do
and then if I go to Supernova, I'll also
both, right?
probably, or the thing about Supernova is it's the biggest 64 tournament in the world, so that's also
Yeah.
a thing to consider. So yeah, I'm all over the place right now, which is maybe good or bad, but
Yeah.
it's fun. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. I mean, take it one step at a time. I mean,
yeah,
Supernova ain't going nowhere, as you can see. Everyone thought it wasn't going to
yeah,
come back, and it's here. So yeah.
yeah. That's good to see. I'm glad it's still around.
Maybe you can just play the 3 games. I think it would be hype.
I've thought about that. It's if I got good enough at all three to make like a super crazy run in all of them, that would be like one of the coolest things probably in the history of Smash.
I agree.
But yeah, it's really hard. Playing even 2 games is insanely hard. So, but maybe like playing all 3 games would be like a treat one day. Like, I'll just YOLO this tournament. I'm gonna enter all 3, and hopefully I can do good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it
like,
can happen.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely believe it can
Appreciate
happen. You're literally the guy to play all the Smash games.
Yeah. It's like Mewtwo King back in the day.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
really similar.
Yeah.
But alright, guys. Alright, goats. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, comment down below. And of course, this was the Goat Talk because we are all goats. And thanks so much for Wizzy for coming out. Bye bye.
Thank you.